Oh, hiya. How you doing? Since you guys are here, and this is going to be a new show I'm going to do, this time I won't be doing any reviews about something, and I don't have any books or comics to show you what I'm going to be doing. And of course, you see here I'm wearing my Doctor Who shirt and have my own outfit. And of course, this is a new show I'm going to start here, and I call this one Crossover Theory. And of course, Crossover Theory, it's me talking about two different franchises and make them become a crossover. And one thing I'm going to be talking about is two totally different franchises that most of the fans always keep fighting about it, or how they're going to fight, or how they're going to deal with each other and all that. And here's my theory. And of course, the franchise I'm going to be talking about is, of course, Star Trek meets Star Wars. I mean, it's the kind of franchise that all the fans always fight about, and they always bicker and argue about who's better of who. Like, they always say Captain Kirk or Captain Picard is better than Han Solo, or better than Luke Skywalker, or better than whoever the hero is, Anakin, whatever. And my idea on this one, I had a lot of thought, and I mean, I'm still a Star Trek fan. I am a pure Trekkie. Besides being a Whovian, I'm also a Trekkie as well. And I used to like Star Wars back then, until Episode 1 came and I lost my liking. I kind of lost my interest of Star Wars, and kind of lost my interest completely. And now I see the clips from the third movie and the second movie, pretty much got the gist of the whole story. Back then, when I used to like Star Wars, I always liked the Sith characters. I always liked the bad guys, like Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Darth Tyrannus, and Darth Sidious, and those evil generals. And then, when I lost my interest, I started to get my interest going on Star Wars. So the characters I like so far is Yoda and Aayla Secura, that blue-skinned alien girl with two brain tails. That Jedi who got ambushed on Order 66. I really hated that scene. Seeing all those Jedis getting slaughtered one by one, all because of Emperor Palpatine, a.k.a. Darth Sidious, had all the Jedi slaughtered one by one. I mean, it was awful. Anyway, my idea of how the franchise are going to come together, and this is my idea, and anybody thinks it good enough as a comic or movie or whatever floats your boat. I have an idea of how the franchise are going to cross over between Star Trek and Star Wars, even though I kind of think that Star Wars was more of a fantasy than sci-fi. I mean, the sci-fi part is the aliens, the lightsabers, the lasers, the spaceships, and the only thing that is a fantasy of Star Wars is the Force. I mean, the Force is another term of the magic, per se, and of course it kind of shows what happened if you became good or become bad. You get the dark side, you get the light side of the Force. And yeah, that's my theory on Star Wars. I mean, I think the Force thing is nothing more of a pure fantasy, while the aliens and all the other stuff is science fiction. Anyway, moving right along, this is my idea how it's going to happen. Now, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, because that's what everybody didn't even know, that in Star Trek it's in the future, and Star Wars is in the past. I mean, some of you should know, because from the beginning it always says a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So the time period will be like way before Earth was made, and it's a galaxy far, far away that we couldn't even travel all the way if we could. So, Anyway, I thought this would be interesting. And of course, for the Star Trek fans, I think we should take it into the Captain Kirk side of Star Trek. You know, the old legendary Captain James T. Kirk commanding, and Spock. Logical. Fascinating, Captain. And George Takei, oh my. Or Vincent Chekhov in Montgomery Scott, I give it all she got, Captain. And so on. Oh, I forgot Dr. McCoy. Dang it, Jerm, I'm a doctor! And I think it would be interesting. I mean, a friend of mine told me this. Any of the evil aliens from Star Trek would have been good enough to join the dark side. I mean, I know some of you would think the Klingons would be good enough to join the dark side, but one thing you should learn, even though Klingons are animals, but they are loyal. I mean, they are warriors, but they lie their allegiance to whoever is in charge. So they believe in honor and respect for those who are in charge and who is a great warrior and all. So it doesn't qualify them to join the dark side. But the only kind of alien who could join the dark side is the Ferengis. And not the Ferengis, sorry. Not the Ferengis. They're greedy and always suck up to who is in charge. I'm thinking about Romulans. And what the Romulans are, they're like the distant cousins to the Vulcans. The Vulcans are the peace-loving alien species who are very intelligent and always rely on logics, but have no emotions because they think emotions is illogical. And that's what Spock is, except he's part human, part Vulcan. So he has emotions, but he tries his best not to get his emotion out. He wants to be like a full Vulcan without any emotions. And the Romulans, on the other hand, unlike the Vulcans who rely on logics, the Romulans, they rely in domination. They rely on conquering planets, terrorizing other species, think of themselves are better than other alien species. And I thought, makes a lot of sense. A Romulan should join the dark side, be a Sith. And how they could meet, here we go. Now this is my idea on this theory. It's when a ship full of Romulans and a Romulan commander got into this wormhole. It took them into a time rift period, and they went all the way to an alternate universe where it's a Star Wars universe. And all of a sudden, the commander starts having powers. He starts developing the Force. And all of a sudden, his dark side presence sense that he should meet the most powerful being of the Sith. And of course it is Emperor Palpatine, a.k.a. Darth Sidious. Yes, use your hatred, join the dark side, or the dark side power could be complete. So, this one Romulan commander meets Darth Sidious. Darth Sidious senses great powers of the Force from that Romulan. So therefore he decided to let him join the dark side and make this Romulan commander be a Sith. And, of course, I'm not really good on catching up names for that Romulan commander. I mean, he either be called Commander something until Sidious call him Darth something. Because everybody who joins the dark side, they always had their first name Darth and make up other names. Like Anakin Skywalker, he was Darth Vader, and Emperor Palpatine was Darth Sidious. And Count Dooku, who now became Darth Tyrannus until Anakin killed him. Anyway, Commander Darth Romulan bad guy, whatnot. he starts getting the power, and he becomes the most powerful evil Sith of all. And all of a sudden, meanwhile, in the alternate universe, there's Captain James D. Kirk trying to track down that evil Romulan ship who is out somewhere. Don't know. And of course, his best friend, Spock, he sensed something from this other dimension, from this wormhole that the Romulan ship had went through, and asked the captain that they should go to that wormhole. And all of a sudden, the captain listens to his friend. Bones have a bad feeling about it, Jim. Dang it! And all of a sudden, they go to this wormhole, and this is how it happens. All of a sudden, Spock, had a lot of potential to become a Jedi, and he starts developing the powers as well. And of course, he has to go to Dagobah, where Yoda is here. Train you I must, train you I will. Use the light side of the Force. Use the Force. Yeah. And all of a sudden, Spock meets Yoda, and Yoda starts teaching him how to be a Jedi. Spock has strong Force in him, yes. Potential of Jedi, yes. And Spock had been trained to be a Jedi, while Captain Kirk is probably too busy flirting with somebody else. I mean, the captain needs to have a girlfriend, because that's what the problem with Captain Kirk. I mean, every time when there is a beautiful alien or a female officer, I mean, any kind of female he meets, he's like, "Hi there, cutie. Why don't you, meet me in my office and we'll talk." That's how Captain Kirk is. That's why I like Picard better. That's right. Michael Graham likes Captain Jean-Luc Picard better than Captain Kirk. Oh, speak for yourself, Captain Picard. Anyway, back to my theory. Spock has been trained well to be a Jedi, and all of a sudden he sensed the dark side of the Force, and here's the Romulan. The Romulan is starting to do his evil things with his army of Romulans, so now Captain's going like, "Everybody, ready! Shoot to kill! I'll take care of that Romulan commander." "No, Captain. It is my destiny that I should face him." And he gets his lightsaber, and the Romulan commander gets his lightsaber, and it's and of course the whole fight will go on between Spock and the commander Romulan. And then after the whole fight is over, there are some Romulan prisoners that they captured, and of course they cannot stay in the Star Wars universe any longer because they need to get back to their own home. So Yoda thanks Spock. "Spock, thank you much. Yes." And Spock is like, "Thank you, Master Yoda. And thank you for teaching me the ways." And of course, the Enterprise boarded up. I mean, everybody's on board, and Captain Picard saying goodbye to the lady. And of course, off they go, back to their own dimension. And here's the thing. Even though Spock got the Force in the Star Wars universe, he went back to the Star Trek universe, and the Force was gone. So the Force can only work on their dimension, but not in the Star Trek dimension. You see, that's my idea. And they say farewell and all, and the end. Anyway, that is my idea of, just connecting Star Trek and Star Wars together. It's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, I know I turn my back against the Star Wars universe, but you never know if my Force comes. It's amazing what you can create with Tinker Toys. Anyway, this is Michael Graham saying to you all, live long and prosper, and may the force be with you.